Coach, first your thoughts on how the two tournaments went.
Got to start with an easy one, huh?
I can make it worse.
No, I liked the GLI. I thought we played really well against Miami. Thought we played really well against Michigan State. Didn't get the results. I think Trey Augustine was a huge factor in that game, as was Charlie Strammel. But I really liked the way we played. We played well enough to win both games. Obviously, didn't get the result. Did not like our game at the Desert Classic against Air Force. We dug ourselves a hole. Still trying to figure out why. We had a couple good practices. We've been really good up until that point. I think they made a couple bang plays and caught us off guard and put us right off our game. I think we were down 3-0, 2 minutes and 43 seconds in. Called a timeout when it was 2-0 to try and stem the tide. That didn't work. Yeah, disappointed about that game. Obviously, we had a discussion. Loved the bounce back from our team against Alaska. Here we are back in conference play. A couple of huge weekends, but we have to just take it one game at a time. Obviously, against Bemidji here, it should be a great series.
You touched on it, but how important was that bounce back on Saturday and getting out, getting a couple goals early, and putting Anchorage behind the eight ball at that point?
For sure, it shows your character, right? Obviously, when things are going smooth, it's easy. When you have a game like that, how we respond is everything, not just in hockey, but in life. You're going to have tough games, tough situations that don't go your way, and it's everything. It says a lot about our team, a lot about our group, that they're not satisfied, it's not acceptable, and holding each other accountable to a higher standard.
What did you like in how Jack led the way there on that?
Well, anytime you can have a defenseman score 3 goals, I think it's huge. It wasn't just the goals. I thought he was outstanding. He was all over the place watching the film back. But it was nice to see him get rewarded. I think just to get those first 2 goals were really, like you had mentioned, just a really good start. Anytime where you can start and put a team behind the 8 ball early, that's a real good recipe.
What do you like in what he brings?
Well, he brings size. He skates. He brings leadership to our group. He loves the game. He comes to the rink every day. He's coachable. He's a sponge. Continues to get better every day. He does an unbelievable job on our penalty kill. I thought he played extremely well in transition and moved pucks north. He activated into the rush, and then obviously in the offensive zone, he activated and got in behind and made a couple of really. It was nice to see him finish, get rewarded.
We saw Tatum pick up a couple goals and look like more like himself, or what we'd seen early in the season before he got hurt. What did you like in what he was doing?
Well, for sure. I mean, he's a competitor. He loves to score. Obviously, he's got a great release, as we talk about. Got a really nice goal in the 2-on-1. Got another one on the power play there. He's playing with more confidence again. He's moving his feet. I think it's an adjustment at this level. He's becoming a better two-way hockey player. And I think, that's showing. He's getting chances. That line with Janssen and Reinhardt seems to have a lot of chemistry here. They've been, even at the GLI, they had a lot of chances to generate and to score.
How nice is it to have a game like that where you didn't have to rely on Stiven to drive offense the way he has so much this year?
For sure. Like Stiv had chances. That line with Kosk and Gordo, they contributed on Jack's first goal. But to get secondary scoring and other pieces will be really important for us moving forward here in the second half. It seems when we can get that, so that's an added bonus. I thought, Carson Burney, Tom Leppa, Matthew Van Blercom had a really good game as well. They were from a forecheck and an offensive zone standpoint, they generated a lot of momentum and zone time for our team and had some really good chances as well.
Bart bounces back from the rough start against Air Force and shuts out Anchorage. What did you like in how he recovered?
Yeah, I mean, he was just back to being himself, and we all share in that loss. What happened in front of him. You second guess as a coach. Did we practice too long, or should we had a morning skate? Different things. We all share in the blame when and I'll take it all on my shoulders. But there were some things some missed assignments for sure in front of him, and he didn't have his best night, but almost every night he gives us a chance to win. So to see him bounce back and be rock solid, even made a couple of really big saves. He had a Dominic Hasek type save with his pads, stack and roll, and then flash the leather late, one called for. But I think we were much better in front of him, obviously.
As you get back into conference play here in the second half, start right away with a tough opponent, Bemidji. You're only 6 points out of first. How important are these games right now as you get into the meat of the schedule here?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it feels like a horse race. We're jockeying for position. We're probably halfway, that halfway through the race, and it seems to be 5-6 teams really pushing. So every game is gonna be critical, but we just have to take it one game at a time. And right now it's just on Friday. I mean, we can't do any more than that. So our focus has to be razor sharp and one shift at a time, one period at a time, and just break it down and kind of have that mentality. And otherwise it can be a little bit maybe overwhelming or what have you, but there's no question there's a race. There's a premium for home ice in our league, and it's a tight race.
What did you see in Bemidji's game when they were here?
A lot. I think they're a really good hockey club. I think there's not much separation, if any, really, between very little separation between 5-6 teams in our conference. So every play matters. I think they had a nice blend. They're top players, very skilled. They skate well. They're a good team. There's a reason why they're winning hockey games. They're a well-coached team. I got a lot of respect for Ernie and the job that he's done and his staff. We know we're going to be in a dogfight.
Coach, in preparation for these next 7 series, how much does film play a factor of what you see in those other teams versus what we have to do when we're on the ice?
Great question. I mean, we're familiar. We played them early in the year. So we know who they are. A lot of it is about what we do. And then obviously, we have to have a really good game plan and make some adjustments. We're on the road. We won't have last change. So that can be a factor at times. But I mean, ultimately, you break it down, into special teams, goaltending, and trying to create some separation offensively and play well defensively. Sounds a little bit cliche, but when you can check those boxes at the end of the night and go through that process, usually the results will follow.
Is it a relief to kind of be back in conference play and have somewhat of a normal schedule? You're still traveling, but it's not kind of the back and forth and the holidays and all that kind of mixed in between.
Yeah, it was nice to spend last night in my bed for a change. So it was good to be back. But you know what? It's what we do. I mean, some games are at home, some games are on the road. we'll have a couple of good days of practice, get on the road down there, and we're home the next weekend. So that's just part of it, making sure the rest and recovery. Obviously, we're going to go through a stretch where we play 8-9 weekends in a row. School's starting today, yesterday. Guys are back in class, so it's something where we got to manage the load a little bit too, and make sure that we're fresh and we have energy for the weekend. But we want to be dialed as a group too, so it's kind of a fine line.